Hey there, warriors. In today's creativity flow, we are going to be working toward undoing some desk hunch. So if you sit at a desk a lot or sit on your phone a lot, you might notice that even when you feel like you're standing straight, have good posture, you have a slight hunch or a little rounding in your back. I know I do, even when I'm, in certain poses watching myself, I'm like, have that rounding through my back there, even though I know I was being very mindful of having a long spine, which is fine. Everybody's body is different. But if you do sit at a desk a lot, that can start to cause shoulder pain, neck pain, and even lower back pain, all sorts of stuff. That is no good. So we're going to do a little flow today that can help us work toward undoing that. Obviously, one flow is not going to completely undo that. And I am not a doctor, chiropractor, anything like that, but we can start to do some poses and some flows that can at least help you feel a little better and help you release some of that tension that gets held in that area when we're hunched forward all the time. So let's get to it. We are going to start in a nice strong mountain pose. I will start facing you. You can start at the top of your mat if you'd like. We're going to just start really mindful about our posture and our stance and a long, strong spine. So we're going to start in mountain, which is great for that, pressing into all four corners of the feet, pressing up through the feet, feeling that energy move up through the legs, keeping the knees slightly bent, not locked, pulling the belly button back toward the spine, up and back to engage the core and invite some strength into your center. Let the hands fall to the side, maybe the palms facing forward. Shoulders are pulled down away from the ears. This is particularly important when we're working on what we're working on today. Actually, we'll turn toward this way a little bit. Pulling the shoulders back and the shoulder blades together, almost as though you're trying to pinch an invisible pencil between them to really open up through the chest and the shoulders. And this, you might even feel a stretch immediately here or a little resistance here if you're used to kind of being in this position. So if you do, embrace it. Don't do anything that hurts, but push to your edge when it comes to stretches like that, because that means it's working. So we're in mountain, be at the top of my mat here. We're just going to breathe here. Inhale through the nose, finding our center, coming into our breath, and exhale out the mouth. We'll do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. We're just going to start to invite some movement, some stretches into the body. Inhale, reach for the sky. And we're just going to stretch to the right side of the body. Exhale, letting your head and hands reach toward the right. Pressing the left foot into the mat to invite a little counter stretch through the left side body. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to the other side, pressing the right foot into the mat. And inhale back to center. And on this exhale, we're going to drop the elbows, bringing them, almost trying to bring them together behind your back, opening through the chest. Keeping that head over heart, heart over pelvis alignment. But all we're doing is bringing the elbows together. So you might feel that stretch through the shoulders and the chest. And inhale back to center. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, almost making goalpost hands, bringing the elbows toward each other behind the body. Keeping the pelvis pulled forward, the belly button up and back. Inhale, back to center. And actually we'll do that one more time because it feels really good. Exhale, bring the elbows together. And inhale back to center. And now I'm gonna come back to the top of my mat and we're gonna move through some sun salutations, half sun salutations to make our way toward the ground. We'll inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold, leading with the chin and the chest. Lifting the tailbone up toward the sky, keeping the knees as bent as you need. Letting the chest fall toward the knees, releasing everything into the fold. Inhale, half flat back, hands on the shins or the thighs, gazing beyond the top of the mat. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach for the sky, straightening through the waist. And exhale, back into our mountain pose. Do that one more time. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half flat back. And exhale, release into the fold, dropping the hands to either side of the feet. We're just gonna step back into a tabletop position. On all fours here, so our wrists are stacked under our shoulders, our knees are stacked under our hips, knees hip distance apart, hands shoulder width apart. Nice long spine, reaching the top of the head toward the front of the mat, top of the mat. We're gonna work through some cat-cows here, which is really great for the spine and the shoulders. So we're gonna inhale, lift the chest, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, lifting the chin and the chest. Lifting the tailbone up, almost like it's trying to touch the back of the head. And exhale, pressing away from the mat, dropping the chin to the chest. Rounding through the back, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Pressing all 10 fingers. Trying to keep the weight out of the wrists. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin and the chest. Starting to move with the pace of your own breath. If you're not matched up with me completely, it's fine. Exhale, release. Rounding the back. If one of these feels better, if this one feels particularly good, especially if you do struggle with shoulder pain from having a rounded back a lot, this might feel really good. Inhale. You can move as quickly or as slowly as you want, whatever feels best in your body right now. Wherever you are, maybe round out your set, even it out, eventually coming back and meeting in a neutral spine. And then all we're gonna do from here is we're gonna step up into a plank. So maybe reaching that right foot back toward the back of the mat and reaching the left foot back to meet the right. We'll pause here, inhale at the top of a nice strong plank, and exhale, release everything to the mat, chest, belly, keeping those elbows tucked in toward the body. We're going to inhale the chest away from the mat, lifting the chin and the chest, pressing the tops of the feet and the hips into the mat. We'll exhale, release everything back to the mat. We're actually just going to do that as a little flow. So we'll inhale, baby cobra, lifting the chin and the chest away from the mat, keeping the elbows toward each other. And exhale, release. Inhale, lift, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades still trying to kind of come together. Exhale, release. Do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And the next inhale, we'll pause here. And on an exhale, we'll tuck the toes, pushing up either through tabletop or from plank all the way back into a downward dog, where we'll just take an inhale and an exhale. And then we'll go ahead and let the knees fall to the mat, untucking the toes. And we're gonna come into child's pose, and usually I give the option to either do extended or traditional child's pose, but today we're gonna work from extended just to help the back and the spine and the shoulders. So we're gonna bring the knees as wide as the yoga mat. That's a really weird little accent I just got, yoga mat. Dropping the chest toward the mat, the forehead toward the mat, reaching the arms out in front of us, dropping the bum toward the heels. If it doesn't touch, that's okay. We're just kind of pushing it that direction. And eventually it might get there. But we're reaching the arms out as far as they can possibly go. So even if you need to take the fingertips and kind of crawl toward the front of the mat. And then we're gonna come up to kind of spider hands here. Sometimes I call them crab hands, sometimes spider hands. Up to the fingertips. And then we're just gonna find our edge, and we're just gonna kind of walk just a little farther. So we're still pushing the bum back toward the heels. So it's almost creating like an opposite counter stretch here. We're pushing the bum back toward the heels, but we're reaching the fingertips up toward the front of the mat to really stretch the spine open through the shoulders. If it is too much on your knees here, if this hurts your hips too much, you can bring the knees together into a more traditional child's pose, but keeping the arms outstretched in front of you. And then maybe just give yourself a nice little forehead massage here. Can keep the arms active by keeping the hands up on the fingertips. Maybe we're just slowly walking the fingers a little farther. Maybe you've found your edge. I'm just hanging out here for a minute. Not a minute, couple breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe let the arms relax for just one more breath. Cycle in through the nose. And out through the mouth. All right, we're just gonna slowly inhale away from the mat here. Come to seated position. Bring the knees together. We're just gonna bring the feet out from under us. Nothing fancy here, just bring them out. The legs out stretched in front of us. Mindfully, slowly, however it feels good getting there. Just before we come into any pose, we're gonna find our posture and alignment again. Head stacked over heart, heart over pelvis. And even this, just sitting like this is actually a pose. Dandasana, or staff pose, with the feet up and active, almost pulled back toward the face. Shoulders down away from the ears, almost like we're in mountain, just seated. This is a great pose for your posture. It will help build strength through the back and the shoulders. It's actually a little bit of a struggle sometimes for me to just sit like this, sitting active with a straight back and long length in the spine, because we don't sit like this often, right? If we're sitting, we're kind of relaxed or hunched forward or over a keyboard or over our phones or just on the couch. So it's not somewhere we focus on building strength. So you can pause here a little bit, or this is just a great pose to practice daily, even if you are sitting and, taking a break and watching TV or something. Just try sitting like this for a couple of minutes, set a little timer, and hang out here for a little while. And you'll start to feel a difference. But we are going to actually bring the right, bend that right knee, bring that right foot over the left leg. So cross it over, bring it to the other side of that left leg. Either leave it by your knee, you can bring it up a little farther toward the thigh, closer to the body, whatever feels good. That left leg is still active, and we're just gonna do a little twist. So we're gonna bring that right arm back behind us, back toward the back side of the mat. That left arm, just kind of rest it on the knee, wrap it around the knee if you'd like. And we're just gonna gaze, if it feels okay, over that right shoulder. So we'll inhale, to find a little length through the spine, so lifting the head up toward the sky. And then we'll exhale into our twist, gazing over that right hand, right shoulder. And maybe with each inhale, we find a little more length. And each exhale, we twist a little farther, just until you meet your edge. Don't do anything that hurts. Keeping that left foot active instead of pointed like ballerina foot or relaxed. A couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And then one more inhale and exhale. Release, maybe coming to the other side, reaching the left arm behind us for a little counter stretch, twisting to the left before we release that right leg to the mat, lifting that left foot to the other side of the right leg, to the knee or up toward the hip, wherever it feels good. Right foot is active, and we're just going to reach that left arm behind us, bringing the right hand either to the right knee. Can bring that right elbow to the inside of that, outside, other side of that left knee, whatever works for you. You can hug the knee too. That's probably a little easier to explain. So we're gonna inhale, find some length in the spine, lifting the head toward the ceiling or the sky. And exhale, twist, gazing over that left shoulder. It might feel completely different on this side. You might not even be able to gaze all the way over. That's fine. Find a focal point that works for you. Inhale, invite a little more length. And exhale, twist. One more time, we'll inhale. Exhale into the twist. This time we'll inhale, and on the exhale, we'll reach to the other side, twisting to that counter stretch. Probably feels good. And releasing the legs. We're just gonna release to our backs. Ooh, I forgot I have a microphone back there. You probably don't. So just come to your back, find a comfortable position. No, we're just gonna come into a little happy baby here. Bring the feet up off the mat. Maybe bring the hands to the outside of the feet, lifting the tops of the feet up toward the sky and releasing the knees down toward the armpits. And just hanging out. Maybe you want to rock a little, like a true happy baby. And if you need the more stretch, a little bit more of a stretch, you can actually physically pull the feet down, knees toward the armpits. But as soon as you start to feel any pain, either in the knee or the hips, just come out a little bit and just stay at your edge. This is a great pose because you can invite as much or as little stretch as you need. You can make it work for you. You can find stillness or rock. I like to even play sometimes straight in one leg and then the other. But of course, if that is not accessible to you, it doesn't matter. You can just stay where you need to stay. And then whenever you're ready, we'll just release everything to the mat. Oh, straightening the legs might even be a little difficult after that happy baby, and we're just gonna relax everything. And if you'd like to spend a little time in Shavasana here, I invite you to do that, to let the feet relax, let the hands relax, the shoulders, tuck the shoulder blades under the back, and just spend a little time in this resting pose. You can spend anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, even 3 minutes, just letting everything relax and melt into the mat. Or if you're ready to take the energy that we just cultivated from today's practice, you can just head on over to your creative practices, creative project, whatever you have in the works. If you need a little extra inspiration, grab a prompt from the end of this video and take this energy and create. So thank you so much for practicing with me today, warriors. Namaste. Now go forth and create. Great flow, warriors. Now it's time to take that energy and create. If you still need a little extra inspiration, just grab a creativity prompt to get the ideas flowing. And if you have a friend who's also fighting writer's block, make sure to share this video and don't forget to subscribe. Now go fight for your creativity.